Hey, okay, so another question that was passed on to me was if I liked Lori uh, province or Vanadzor so much because of the greenery and it's right on the mountains, everything. Why I didn't go or why I don't go to move there and why I choose to just go there for vacations from time to time. The answer is a few things actually. I never really wanted to go bash people, but number one, Vanadzor for me would be a good getaway for like 1 or 2 days because the place totally activates and clears your heart chakra, your healing energy system. Literally, you being there literally will heal you. Or just clear your energy. Հայտնույն բես եթե իրականությունները պիտի խոսիմ Վանացորի ժողովուրդը շատ աննորմալ դեսա. The people itself շատ քյուրային, like քյուրացի ժողովուրդ դեսա, from the children to the adults to the elderly. I think maybe just դարօրինակ մարդ էին from what I noticed. Gyumretsis are more even better to me from what I, just darurinak martik desa. So I remember there was this one lady, she was saying to me like, oh, how come, you chose to live in Gyumri? I'm in gosh to go be Jolvut and Hayastani. And she's like, and how are you, the neighbors treating you? And I'm just like, the same way your neighbors are treating you. Like, it's not about that, man. It's like, for me personally, I notice everything when I go to the restaurants, from supermarkets to the people on the street, random socialization, the outlook of things, the way they handle things, the dialect, even from the dialect, just no, worse than no. I'm going to tell you one more time, Gyumri is my home. Gyumri will always be my home. I relate to this place more than anywhere in all of Armenia. Through thin and thick, I sinkan, as in through highs and lows and everything as a whole. Okay, I've had extremely amazing things happen here. I've seen some amazingly horrible things happen here. But I'm pretty sure if I went somewhere else, the horrible, and to be quite frank, the people here are a little bit more, as a whole, not everyone, a little bit more humble than the ones I've noticed in Vanadzor. Vanadzor ժողովուրդը the kichma, I think they're not as humble as a whole. I'm not saying on an individual basis. Just not for me. And I never came to Armenia to change a community or change a group of people. I'm here to be part of something that's going to evolve. I'm not, so I go somewhere where I can relate, not to fit in, but somewhere where I can relate and call my home. If Gyumri had lots of greenery and forestry everywhere. Yeah, so what I was saying, I just came out of the shower, so don't mind everything. So I was saying, like, to be able to call a place my home and the place I can relate for living all the time, it's here where I live, Gyumri, and I wouldn't change it. I would never change. I don't even think twice about it. Do I have regrets? No. That's not to say that I'm in denial of what's happened. That's not to say I'm in denial of what it's made me feel. But I'm pretty sure if I went somewhere else, the extremes that I've experienced here, like negatively, it could have been maybe even worse somewhere else. Like I've heard stories, like even Kohat from Birthright Armenia, she was telling me her own friend, who was born and raised in Yerevan, had given his own friend who's in construction to renovate the apartment. Till this day, and this was like 2-3 years ago, he's nowhere to be found. He's probably left the country with that money. Maybe he went to Russia and he escaped. Nobody can find him. So, I mean, going back to Vanadzor, like I said, even me going there 1 or 2 days, I'm going there for myself as like a getaway from the everyday me in this environment. Because Gyumri doesn't have a lot of greenery. If Gyumri had a lot of greenery like it did in the 60s and 70s, especially where I am, which is the earthquake zone, like now, they have the Friendship Park. There's going to be an event on the 20th. There's skating and everything, but it's still a little bit far from where I live. There's so much area land here. They could turn it into a beautiful forest. They can have lots of beautifulness of greenery, trees. They don't put nothing. There's no grass, nothing. So Vanadzor is full of beautiful. Speaking of green, look, I'm wearing like an army green. I love this color, the shade. It's like a taupe, but because of the camera, it appears a little. There we go. It appears a little bit more gray, but it's actually green. It's like an army green. So yeah, a gente que say like Vanadzor jogo vurt darurinak desa Vanadzor jogo vurtin parpara chemsirer. I don't know what the hell kind of parpar that is. Sorry, no offense, but chisiretsi. Just the people. They're to each their own. Maybe you go there and you like it there. I like it there too, but I'm not saying every single one of them were darurinak, but like I said, as a group, from what I've seen, majority of this wouldn't live there. Okay, verchatsav. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Verchatsav. Norin gertam, hankistanelu. But that's it. Not to live there. I cannot see myself living there. No. Hey, I'm back. A little off topic. I want to talk about how powerful the human emotions are. You have to also understand, and there'll be a reoccurring theme of this coming into your life, where you'll notice when you allow yourself to feel something, feeling is part of intuition, when you allow yourself to feel, it goes up to the rationale. This is not the type of feeling where it's like obnoxious feeling, meaning tuning into how you feel at that moment. For example, how a person makes you feel, how an environment makes you feel. Don't ignore that feeling. I'm not talking about low vibrational manipulation kind of feelings, if that even makes sense. But so to strengthen one's intuition, you need to be able to kind of feel yourself out. We're living in an era where it's perfectly fine to be sexually promiscuous, but there's something wrong with you if you feel, which that is how you know you're being actually manipulated through your real power. Real femininity. Okay, let's just remove that out of the equation because people will look at this in the incorrect manner that I'm trying to express. Real power, internal power, comes from feeling. Again, I'm not talking about the feeling that's been regarded as a weakness, but being centered within how you feel at that moment, at each given moment, at each, in each situation around each person. So I'm at that point in my spiritual development, human development, let's call it human development, where I'm embracing my emotional self. I'm not ignoring it. I'm not denying it. That's the most destructive thing you can do to your own well-being. Because when you're taught, when you tell yourself to ignore any feeling you feel or that it's unnecessary, then you brush aside with that which is important to you and that which can actually help you become more smart, because your feelings go up. You create better circumstances for yourself and other people. You actually become more intelligent. This is not something that I can really show you. You have to learn on your own, and I do it all. For example, I grew up with a family, especially my mother, who has narcissistic personality disorder, and she would always tell me that feelings are wrong, feelings are not valid. If you feel something, you're weak. But how can you know? Intuition is the cause of the devil. My intuition, or people's intuition, prevents yourself and others from dying, for an example. If you get a gut feeling about something, or something doesn't feel right or look right. Of course, there's other, it's very in-depth in a sense that there's levels to emotions, and you need to be able to experience all the highs and lows of your own emotions so that you can grow as a human being and evolve. And so when I don't feel that something or someone or a situation isn't right for me, I'm out of the equation. I'm not going to second guess it anymore. 2 days ago, I had another leak in the hallway now from the heat gas water leak pipe. And I grew up alone, where I was always fixing the lights, fixing the toilets. I still do it, but and I just looked at it and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it myself. So it's kind of like water in energy is considered to be, and it's probably showing me that my emotions are sacred to me. I decide who I want in my life. I decide what type of persons I want in my life. I decide my environment. I decide what kind of person I'm going to be and what I allow and don't allow in my life. And nobody has that control except me. I can't control other people, but I can choose what type of situations I put myself in, right? If it doesn't feel right, get the hell out of there. It's perfectly fine to say no, thank you. Sometimes it's perfectly fine to not say anything at all. So I'm thinking this year is going to be very powerful. My North Node in Western astrology is in Aries, and this year, and North Node is considered the node of destiny and fate, and Aries is all about being independent and a leader. And the only time I'll ever succeed in life is when I trust myself. That's pretty much what it is. I can't say that about every single person out there or everybody who watches me, because a lot of people thrive and succeed through other people. They can't do it alone, which is their own circumstance, their own fate, their own destiny. That's not who am I to judge, but that just means that we can't. There's people like me out there, okay? They're hidden. There's not many of us, but there are people like me out there. Maybe not in my exact life circumstance, but each one of us are unique in our own right. And that's pretty much that. And I think what makes you wiser is if you do allow yourself to feel, eventually you'll come to a conclusion of some sort, and you make decisions by feeling. You feel what doesn't feel right. You feel what does feel good, and you go by that, and you see the results by going by that. So, hey, good morning. This is the definition of 4 eyes right here. So, through the last video where I was talking about how Kohar's friend had given $5,000 cash to his friend who's in construction, and he literally escaped the country. He's not talking to his family. It's been several years. Somebody was telling me, in a way, I'm kind of lucky that nobody took my money in that way and escaped. they didn't take my money because I don't give my money to anyone. Anytime we would go buy tiles or products or anything, I'm the one that says, I gotta go with you. I'm not fucking... The guy that I called the cops on, and that they were gonna throw him in prison, he told me, he said, oh, we all know each other, you can give me, like... Am I distracting with my 4 eyes? Just pay attention to what I'm saying, alright? I didn't even say no. I didn't even say yes. I said, this is the way I didn't say no. I didn't say yes. I said, this is the way I operate. I said, I have a conversation coming through. I said, this is what I said. I said, listen, I come with you because I decide what I want and I pay up front for what I want. That's how this operates. And that's it. The hell you trusting? You're gonna give $1,000, if not more, up front, right from the beginning, to buy the products and whatever. No, you don't know how much fucking soil we need. You don't know how much mud we need. Soil gsamgor. Sorry, not soil. Mud. The word I can't... It's not coming to me right now. I just woke up. Not soil. What am I talking about? You know, the dark gray sticky stuff that you put underneath the tile. You don't know how many times I have to go back and buy that. No, it doesn't operate that way. So, I know in this case scenario it was his friend, his so-called friend who he trusted, but let me tell you, I don't even trust my own family with money. Thanks. I mean, I'm the type where I'm like, I don't trust. I have to go with my own eyes, see how much this costs, see how much that costs, make a fucking calculation. Who are you? I'm going to give you money. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? No. Why would I give you cash upfront money when I don't even... We have to go. The only thing we discussed is how much your labor cost would be. And that shouldn't be paid until after. At least in the middle, the very least. So I go to the shop with you, the multiple shops. We have to even make sure, because maybe the first shop is not going to have what I want. I'm not trusting you with any of my money. Bro, don't ever fucking do that shit. If any construction worker asks you for money up front, go with them. So with like Hovo Giragosyan and his father Artyom Giragosyan, Hovo's a tattoo artist. I mean, he was my friend. Like, I stopped talking to him because of his father. He's very upset about it. But you know what? Like, if it reaches that point where I lose respect, that's it. And he had good intentions. Like, Hovo immediately... He called, like, we talked on the phone, and I said, your father is putting his pants on my bed. He immediately called his fucking father, and he said, get rid of your fucking dirty pants. Don't put your dirty pants on my friend's bed. So obviously Artyom freaked out. He was in shock mode, because this is the same man. This is the one with the Azeri friend. This is the same man who is all about calling his son while his son's in bed with his kids, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, to go run to the strip club with his father because he's a so-called man. And they were telling me how, oh, my son Hovo kezishatka kove, he keeps saying, you're such like, you're very intelligent. Talat is very intelligent. She's like a high quality person. Don't do anything to jeopardize anything. So from my perspective, I'm pretty sure his father Artyom, it's a mix of how his viewpoint is of women, but also he was doing it intentionally. Because it was like, why is my son? Kovel means like, it's kind of like respect, but it's not respect. Harkel, like it's Kovel is like praise, basically. He keeps praising, why is my married son praising? So, you know, the mindset of the people here, automatically he's probably thinking I'm sleeping with the married guy. Who knows? Okay? Which that is not the case. You know, I don't operate that way. But just like even then, it's like, okay, you complain that you want money. Okay, you want money. Here, work. It's not like I'm not going to give you money. It's about do your fucking job. And the Azeri guy's like, oh, in Canada, oh, in North America, people play triple the amount. I'm like, listen, honey, in Canada, you don't, the fucking construction workers don't sit around there it doesn't take 1 month to fucking renovate a small goddamn washroom, okay? And you're not even doing anything, you're just sitting there and watching, and you expect me to pay you. I don't give a flying fuck. Why am I gonna pay you? I'm paying this guy a certain fee. Take that certain fee from your friend if you want freaking money. Like, there's no business skill. And I was talking to Hova about this, you know? So, anyways, we'll leave it at that, because I don't want, like, the reoccurring I don't want to keep repetitively talking about it. 2023. Okay, so let's break it down. Like, in 2019, I was given a job as a manager, social media manager at the Gar Tattoo, where Hova works. So they're all excited that I'm going to be working there, and then I start getting hit on consistently by Armen. He's one of the artists there, and I pulled back. So I pulled back. I didn't talk to any of them for a very long time. The coronavirus hit. I didn't even show up. I was like, no. If I'm going to get hit on and I can't comfortably work, I'm like, no. So obviously, you know, Holo saw me. He did a few of my face tattoos or whatever. He was going to do all these tattoos on my, like, my stomach. I ended up getting my stomach done by someone else, so he was upset about it. And then and so, like, obviously it was a reoccurring pattern that was happening in that, you know? So it's like, I didn't go, and then I saw him at the end of 2021. So, and we just always naturally, like, I connect with the people there. I've always, like, we just connect. We'll sit for hours and talk and just laugh and have coffee and, like, whatever. And they would always say, come chill, you know, let's have coffee, come here, chill. Like, pretty much all the workers. But this fucking Armen, all the time, disrespecting, which is very similar to Artyom mentality. And he's young. He's way younger than me. I think he's like 10, 15 years younger than me. So I was like, no. And then the whole situation occurred, and then Hova was like, listen, I'll talk to my father. I'll get my father to do, you know, give you a deal and everything and whatever. And he talked to his dad to be respectful of me. And what did his dad do? He rebelled against it because he thought, this is fishy. He thought, this is fishy. Why is my son praising this girl? Why is my son saying about me, obviously? Why is my son, who has a hard time, you know, this and that, why is he saying good things about Talat? Do you get what I'm saying? So, coming from a Soviet, his father has a very Soviet mentality. His father is young. He's born like 1970. He's not young, but he's still young. So, he was still around that, you know, mentality of certain things. Anyways, I'm just gonna finish my coffee and I will end this video, and I should post it on social media and my YouTube. So I hope this ends this whole cycle. And then bringing that Azeri was just a big no-no. That just topped it off. That topped it off for me. Because they're all fully aware that my father was part of, you know, the leaders. Anyways, Chemuzer Khosil, okay? Verchatav, Chemuzer Khosil, no more. Take care. Speak soon. And you'll hear from me again, because I have so many of my opinions and life stories to share with you all. Bye.